Hi Aries, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Aries for this upcoming week in March. If you're brand new to my channel or unfamiliar with my readings, check out the description box below for any information you might be curious about. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your support. Carmilla is here. She's behind my head and there she is. She's going to co-star in Aries reading today. So I want to remind all my viewers that because this is a general love reading, it can pertain to just about anything: relationships, work situations, family situations, you name it, it might apply. Also, be flexible with the energy. You can interchange the roles within the reading. You might feel like I'm reading for you, but you could also potentially feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. As always, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. My intention is to reach those that need the message the most and those that will benefit from the message the most. Okay, Aries? So I'm going to get started. I want to give this deck one more shuffle and a cut, and we'll see what's going on with you guys today. Here we go. We're going to start off with Devil, paired with the 5 of Cups. I don't like that start, Aries. I'm going to admit that that is not a pleasant way to start. 4 of Wands in reverse. The Hierophant. Two of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Wands. The Knight of Cups in reverse. And the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so it does look like this is pertaining to a relationship or a connection of some sort with the Devil and the 5 of Cups in your underlying energy. I feel like you could be in the process of dealing with some, don't bite me back there, dealing with some grief or some heartache surrounding something maybe that occurred within this relationship or the relationship itself. I feel like it might be unstable or something went wrong within this relationship that maybe caused the foundation of the relationship to weaken. I can't tell what kind of relationship this is yet. Could be romantic, could be family, friends, co-workers. Let's see what else we get for you. We have the Fool in reverse, clarifying the Devil, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. The 4 of Swords in reverse. 6 of Cups. The Knight of Cups again in reverse. The Ace of Cups in reverse. And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So whatever relationship you're dealing with is a 6 of Cups relationship with it, which is a significant connection. Somebody who is meant to be in your life. This can be someone you have a soul contract with. This can be somebody coming back from your past. This can be a relationship of longevity. This is just, 6 of Cups indicates a soul mate. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic connection, but it does indicate someone who is significant and is meant to be in your life in some way, shape, or form. And there is trouble in paradise regarding this relationship. You two could be separated right now. There might be a lack of communication. I I do feel this strong sense of grief, and that at least right now things are stagnant. There is no movement forward. There is no indication, at least not yet, of reconciliation, if that's even on the horizon at all. It feels like there might even be some fear or feeling overly cautious about making any moves or any attempts at communication. This looks like, on the one hand, that there's this loss of love, a lost opportunity for this connection or this relationship to build something together. Let's get some more cards out here. So we have the Hermit in reverse, clarifying the Devil. Six of Swords. Ace of Cups again in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse. Nine of Swords in reverse. The Fool again in reverse. The King of Cups in reverse. And the Two of Pentacles again in reverse. You have a lot of repeats out here, Aries. So we have a King of Cups out on the table. I feel like this is the person you're dealing with. So the King of Cups in reverse can indicate somebody who is emotionally detached or emotionally unavailable. This can be somebody who lacks compassion or is just unwilling to invest emotion. With the Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel like this person may have disconnected with you, Aries. This person may have announced that they've moved on, that they're leaving this connection behind. I feel like this person made a mistake of some sort. I feel like this person, there's a sense that this person made a mistake. That there was some kind of opportunity within this relationship that this person may have just dropped the ball. Because I get the feeling that there was a lot to this connection. That I don't know if this was romantic, if this was some kind of love connection, or just, like, for example, a very close friendship, and there was some kind of love lost here. But this lack of loyalty or this lost love resulted in something else being left behind. Something else significant. And it may have been the love that was holding this relationship together. It may have been that romantic connection or that loyalty, that solid friendship that was holding this connection together, that also allowed for something else to blossom between the two of you. I just feel like there was more to this relationship than just, like, you know, hanging out and having a coffee together at Starbucks, or, you know, going to lunch, or a coworker that's a really close friend to you, or even there was more to this than just your average everyday romantic connection. If in fact it was a romantic connection, there's something else going on here. That because something went awry between the two of you, something really significant, at least for now, has been left behind. I think, Aries, you would like to move past this feeling of grief, but right now you're stuck in this. You're stuck in this energy. You're stuck in this Five of Cups energy, trying to recover, maybe trying to heal. I think that you would like to move on from this, but this just feels very, very significant. Whatever this connection is and or was. And I feel like you may have tucked yourself away. There's a sense with the Hermit reverse that you might be in hermit mode to the extreme, if you get what I mean, Aries. Like you are feeling victimized and you don't want to see the light of day right now. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to explain what happened. I get the feeling that you don't want to deal with day to day right now. And that's how harsh it feels in this set of cards up here. That this is just, I mean, this is really hard energy to look at, Aries, if I'm being totally honest. I just get the feeling right now that you are probably dwelling in some darkness, some fear, maybe feeling like you can't recover from this. You can, Aries, you can recover from it. Something this significant, a connection this significant, though, is going to leave you feeling beaten up and bruised and broken for a while. If this person did to you what I'm sensing in the cards they did to you. Let's get some more information out here, Aries. We have the Wheel of Fortune, Temperance in reverse, the King of Swords. Here, go over here. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Pentacles again, this time in the upright position. The Page of Wands. The Seven of Wands. And the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there was maybe an attempt to reconnect at some point in time with this King of Cups. I feel like the King of Cups is defending his stance. I feel like he has maybe admitted to dropping the ball when it comes to this relationship. Maybe he admits to some lost love or some lost loyalty. Maybe he admits to feeling like he's the reason for the demise of this relationship, the reason why it became unstable and ultimately seems to be, if it's not already ended, seems to be heading in that direction. But there was an attempt, and it could have been by you, Aries, to reconnect or try again. I get the feeling like at least one, possibly both of you, at some point in time, or maybe this is something you're considering right now, trying to make this work again. so that you can recover from this or repair this connection. You've got the Ace of Wands out here. I just get the sense that one or both of you wants to try again. As it stands right now, Aries, this King of Cups is defending his position. And I don't feel, at least right now, he's going to change his mind. I think that there's a certain level of blame game going on in this connection. And I feel like the King is telling you, or has told you, Aries, that you are overly demanding, that you may have to have things your way, that you are not seeing his perspective, that he feels that you're being unfair. He might be saying that you're the one who has dropped the ball in this situation, because I don't think this King feels like you're walking the walk. Now, the Queen of Wands is somebody who talks a big game. If she's in reverse, she may have really high expectations for others, but she's not living up to those same expectations for herself. And I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not saying that that's actually what's going on between the two of you. I feel like both Queen of Wands and King of Cups are in reverse, so you're both dealing with some shadow energy. But I think there's a blame game going on here. Who is at fault for this, the foundation of this relationship crumbling or weakening? And I think there's this feeling that you, one or both of you, wants to try again, but I don't feel like there's any compromise going on here. I feel like the motivation between wanting to get back together might be just to relieve yourself of some grief and to grasp at maybe some hope that this relationship can be mended. Let's get this last round out. So we have the Knight, or the Page of Pentacles again, this time in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse. The King of Pentacles. The Star in reverse. The Fool again, this time in the upright position. The Two of Cups, this time in the upright position. The Five of Wands. And the Hangman in reverse. Okay, so I feel like there was an attempt to come back together or to reconnect with this person in the past, but there was this lack of ability to compromise, to see the other person's perspective, maybe even this lack or unwillingness to attempt to communicate in a manner where you could both accept some responsibility for some problems within this relationship. I think that this King has acted to a certain extent as a provider, or as someone who is being the responsible party, the grounded one, the one who is maintaining the stability of this relationship. And I think he decided he wasn't going to do that anymore. I think he is represented by the King of Pentacles, and this person can be someone who's a father figure, someone who's a provider and a protector, someone who is grounded, takes care of himself and those that he loves. And I think I get the sense that this person feels, this King of Cups, King of Pentacles feels like he was taken advantage of, or he wasn't appreciated. There's a significant amount of imbalance with regard to this relationship. And I think there has been in the past. And I think there's been attempts to try again. And there is still a hope to try again. And I think that that's probably going to happen. There is no indication on this table that this relationship is over with. But right now there's some significant grief and sorrow. And both parties need to recover from whatever's going on. Because if you don't, before you try again, you're going to have the same results. And I think that's why there's some hesitation or just blatant refusal to try again with this relationship, because right now neither party has come to terms with what's happened in the past. And if neither party is willing to work on their personal responsibility with regard to this connection, then when you come back together to reconcile or try again, you're going to be faced with the same thing. And I think you've had that conversation before. This King of Cups, I get the feeling that this King of Cups has been somewhat blunt with his communication with this Queen of Wands. And again, I do feel like I'm reading for this Queen of Wands, but you could be either party. If this reading is resonating for you, Aries, you decide what makes sense to you. But I feel like this King of Cups has been blunt with you. And may have even given you an ultimatum and said, look, if you don't stop thinking that you're the victim in this situation and that you have to have things your way and that you're unwilling to compromise, then we can't make this work. I think, Aries, it feels like your major concern is this removal of emotions, this lack of intimacy, this lack of an emotional connection, lack of love, loss of love, or inability to show the love. Because I think that's what this King has done, is removed his emotions from the equation. And maybe it's his way of taking a stance, protecting himself emotionally within this connection, because I feel like that's your biggest concern, Aries. The Queen of Wands feels to me like her number one complaint, if there is a complaint, a number one complaint. I mean, there could be a number of things going on in this relationship, but I think the Queen of Wands' number one complaint is there's this lack of emotion, lack of care, lack of loyalty or compassion, possibly lack of intimacy if this is a romantic connection. And frankly, there's this feeling like one or both parties is getting ready to give up, throw in the towel altogether. But we have these pages out here, which leads me to believe this is one of those, and I'm not trying to throw shade and I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but there's a sense with these pages out here that this is the immature response. This is the immature attitude to take, that, well, fuck it then, I'm just gonna give up. I'm throwing in the towel, I don't care anymore. I'm moving on. I'm going to take my stuff and go. I mean, these pages are in your underlying energy. I just feel like one or both parties really isn't seeing this for what it is. And Aries, based on what I'm seeing in the cards, I would say that if there is a potential attempt to come back together, repair this relationship, make things better, communicate in some way, then some internal work needs to be done first. Both parties, I believe, need to admit that they are both responsible for the demise of whatever went wrong in this relationship. Accept some responsibility. Both parties should be willing to apologize and accept apologies. So let's get one card from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck to see if we can't get any advice for Aries. Is this one? This is more, that's 3. I'm not taking 3. I can't do 3. I just want to do 1. And the only reason I say that is because I like to read these from the book, and they tend to be long, and it takes me forever. Sometimes we're at 27 minutes right now, which is a good length for a video. I like to keep them around 30 minutes, right, Aries? But if I get like 3 cards, then I'll end up ending this in like 15 more minutes, and that's just too much. Too much. Just 1 card. 1 really good card for Aries. Maybe 2. If I have to, I'll take 3, but I would prefer 1. So let's get 1 card for Aries. Honestly, Aries, listen, I'm gonna be totally honest here, because I'm getting the sense that there's this lack of compromise, and that's one of the biggest things. I'm actually really surprised that we don't have the 2 of Swords out here. But it feels like there's both parties are being very stubborn and maintaining their stance and their position within this situation and this relationship, and neither party's willing to budge. That's not going to work. I mean, I feel like there's a sense that that both parties, or at least Aries does, wants to try to make this work. I mean, this relationship's significant enough that it is, and it's important enough, I believe, to you, Aries, that you try again with this. But right now, with the way things stand, you're not going to get anywhere with it. I mean, that's just the, it's just the truth. I'm taking this one. Abundance. Okay. Let's see if this resonates for you, Aries. It's a positive card. Well, it can be. Depends on how you look at it. It is a beautiful image, by the way. I really love this one quite a bit. I know that this card has something to do with, you know, seeing what you have around you and try not to think that there's more, you know, that the grass is always greener. Appreciate what you have, you know, that kind of thing. And you realize that you have abundance. It just depends on how you look at it. Okay, here we go, Aries. What is abundance? Abundance is defined as a state of plenty. When the abundance card appears, it signifies a feeling of abundance, of appreciation that opens you to the abundance that surrounds you. In turn, this feeling gives rise to an abundance consciousness, a person with an abundance consciousness is one who is always hopeful, seeks a fair and equal exchange of energy, and sees potential and opportunity in all experiences. To create and open ourselves to abundance and embrace an abundance consciousness is our seventh reason for being, and potentially one of the more challenging purposes, because it requires absolute faith and conviction. It requires complete trust. Abundance consciousness is a state of contentment and fulfillment that is not influenced by external factors. Regardless of whether the experience was good or bad, one with an abundance consciousness sees the whole experience and learns from the whole experience. Abundance embodies a way of living that does not change regardless of, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. I want to read that again. Abundance embodies a way of living that does not change regardless of whether you have more or less in your life. Abundance cannot be earned, given, bestowed, or taken away. It is contentment born of fulfillment and appreciation. Abundance means to see and appreciate the wealth that surrounds us, not just the material wealth, but the abundance of energy, love, nature, spirituality, food, enjoyment, and time. Abundance is a perpetual state of evolution, expansion, and growth that is mirrored in all that surrounds us. If you do not see those things, you may be restricting the flow of abundance. Perhaps you have blockages in place, beliefs that have you seeing a lack of scarcity, and embracing an idea that everything is limited or will run out. Abundance is about giving and receiving in equal measure, rather than controlling, taking, possessing, or hoarding. Being generous and appreciative and grateful will help you to experience abundance. Being loving and giving love will help you receive love. Being respectful will help bring respect to you. Giving with the right intentions for the right reasons, sharing what you have without fear rather than dwelling on what you do not have, these will help bring wealth to you. Remember, however, abundance about giving simply because you can and want to, not because you want something in exchange. So, take what you will from the meaning of that card. What I got from it is that maybe one or both parties in this connection are not seeing what they had within this relationship and appreciating it for what it was and expecting more out of it or the person that you're connected to, and that causes the sense of lacking, of feeling like there isn't enough. And maybe that's what the demise of this relationship is all about, is that there wasn't that idea of appreciating one another for who they are and what they have to offer within the relationship. Just a suggestion. Obviously, you're going to take this for what it is for you. Interpret it the way you want to. So Aries, I'm going to leave that here. I hope that this reading gave you something to think about, and I hope it helped you in some way. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Aries.